Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start module number 7, which is related to the information security planning policies and the measurements. In this lecture we will be dealing with how we can make our system secure by giving appropriate planning and appropriate risk management, risk analysis, security policies, and physical security. So these four aspects will be discussed in detail, that how the security planning, risk analysis, and the physical security can be measured. So So this whole module is basically about the administration security. For being a good information security specialist, a person, a student, or a professional must be a very good administrator of the security, because usually we are not having attacks all the time, but we should be prepared for the attacks and the risks which is expected, or which are unexpected as well. So far we have learned many things about, like how to secure programs, how to secure system, and the databases, networks, and technologies. So all these things we have learned. Now we need to manage all these things, that how we can manage the database security, how can we manage the network security, and how we can manage the technical aspects of the information security in a very detail. So we can say that security control is a combination of technical controls plus administrative controls plus system controls. Now we move to the security planning, that what kind of plannings, what kind of constraints do we need. Okay, if you look at this diagram, you can see the security planning processes. Okay, this is a main box. It's around this main box we can see four different aspects. Okay, at the top, if you see over here, is the security policies, means what are the constraints we must enforce for ourselves, for our employees, for our machines, for our networks, for our databases. Okay, on the right hand side, if you see over here, what's the security planning, means how you can make your all organization system secure so that the future attacks can be blocked. And the next one is, you can see over here, security techniques and control. Yeah, you must install some tools, some software, some policies, some like policies of 8 characters with the alphanumeric, with the special characters. This kind of things should be installed over there. And we have some requirements from your employees, from your colleagues, or all the requirements should be implemented over there. So this is the whole process, that how the security looks. So security is a process, it's not a product, it's a process. So if you see over here, so the process defined in the security planning, it should not be the fixed document, it should be revised. According to the last line, if you see over here, the plan should be reviewed and revised periodically, means after 6 months, or after 3 months, or after an year, the security plan must be revised. Otherwise your security plan will be obsolete, and it will be not effective for the new emerging threats. Okay, what should be the content of the security plan? Okay, a security plan identifies organizing the security activities for a computing system. Okay, so your first thing the security plan must include is the organized security activities. What should be the security activities? So the main point is here in the plan is the security activities. What kind of activities you have to measure? For example, you just name it: activity number 1, activity number 2, activity number 3, activity number 4. Okay, what activity should be? For example, I install the firewall. I just configure the firewall, Windows firewall. This is the first activity. Second activity, I install the IDS, not IDS. This is the second activity. Third activity is, for example, if you just like install the antivirus, not an antivirus, Kaspersky antivirus, or you install like a different kind of new tools, or the port scanner, or the advanced port scanner, or the most important thing is the vulnerability assessment tools. Like, for example, as I talk in the different lecture, that the vulnerability tools is like Nmap or the NISIS. These are the most important vulnerability assessment tool. So we must install these things. So all these things comes in activity. So you should mention it, write it, that yes, I did number 1, this is my first activity, number 2, this is my second, number 3, this is my third. So the activities should be mentioned. The second thing is the plan is both the description of the current situation and the plan for the improvement. Yeah. So in the plan, you must categorically mention that these activities, security activities, has been done. Okay, and you should categorically mention in your security plan that these activities needs to be done in future. So this is the main thing. So two things are important: security activities and the mentioning of the security activities and for the improvement. Okay, now we see the contents of security plan, that what what should be the contents in the security plan. There are 7 contents in security plan. We counted. The first thing is the policy, second is the current state, third is the requirements, fourth one is the recommended controls, fifth one is the accountability, the sixth one is the timetable, and the fourth one is the continuing attention. Now we will discuss one by one. What do you mean by the policy? Policy is a high level statement which state the purpose, means why you are doing these policies, okay, and the intent, means what is the purpose, specific goals, and responsibility and commitment. So this comes in a policy statement, means that it can be like a 1 line, or it can be a paragraph, or it can be like a 2 or 3 pages. So it's just like a statement, high level statement. So the second thing is the current state. The current state is describing the status of security at the time of plan. Means like if you join an organization, so at the time of joining, you need to see that what is the current state of your organization. For example, what are the current assets, how many computers, how many printers, how many routers, how many switches you have, what is the vulnerabilities, what is the weaknesses already there, whether the antivirus is installed or not, whether the IDS is installed or not, whether the assessment of the weaknesses have been done or not, and who is responsible for what. So this comes in the current state. The third one is the requirements. For example, what they need, what your organization needs, specifying the needs that organization has. For example, who is allowed to use the printer, who is allowed to use the server, who is allowed to use the DNS, who is allowed to use the web server. So this must be noted. What logs should be kept? For example, sometimes you need logs of the different employees, that who is doing what thing. Okay, so the log of the employees, all these things are requirements for the plan. So we are discussing the plan. So these are the 3 points here. Now we go for the fourth one, that is the recommended controls, like mapping controls to the vulnerabilities identified in the current state and requirements in the light of security policy, that what are the different controls available. Okay, like for example, if you have one vulnerability like SQL injection, so what is the control available, how you can countermeasure that vulnerability. For example, if you have a vulnerability like XSS, so what is the control for that. So you need to see the vulnerabilities identified by your current states and the requirements in the light of security plan. So all this is called the mapping. So mapping is usually with respect to your current state, with the vulnerabilities, and with your requirements. Now we come to the fifth one, accountability. Accountability is a very important thing in a plan, a security plan, that being a information security specialist or being an auditor. Auditor is also kind of a job in a information security domain. What the auditors do, he is responsible for each security activity in the case of failure. For example, if something gets failed, so he checks each and everything. For example, specifying the responsibility of desktop user, database domain, network admin, SEO, CIO, etc. So he is responsible for this one. So it is just like similar like a financial auditing. If a financial auditor is responsible at the end of year for each and everything, similarly in organization we must have an IT audit or information security auditing. So the accountability is important in that case. Then with the sixth thing is the timetable. It says that identifying when different security functions are to be done. For example, procurement of the hardware, installation, operations, and maintenance. Okay, Sometime we need a specific timetable to install the antivirus. We need a specific timetable to install the new hardware, new IDSs, and new softwares, and new maintenance operation or updates. Updates are very important. Usually, for information security, you need to install the new service packs, new updates, new updates of the software. Why? Because most of the software are beta versions, so we need the updated version, okay, so that the vulnerabilities has been removed. So we need to set the timetables, that just like in off days or in on days, what should be the specific timetable. And the last thing is the continuing attention. That what is the continuing attention? Like specifying the structure for periodically updating the secure plan. Like what this means, as a state of the world, technology and vulnerability is not static. So means like you need to pay a continuous attention to your structure, your security plan. That you should not stop your security plan at a specific level. It needs to be incremented. It needs to be edited. It needs to be deleted. Okay, so some part of the plan can be deleted, some part of the plan can be added, and some plan can be updated according to the new circumstances, new threats, new vulnerabilities. So the last point, if I just repeat like this one, so what is the continuing attention? It's a specifying a structure for periodically updating the security plan. So after 3 months or 4 months or like this one, you need to update your plan. As a state of the world, technology vulnerability is not static. So since the vulnerabilities are moving, vulnerabilities are changing, new vulnerabilities are being faced, and new technologies emerging, so we need to update our plan accordingly.